In 2015, NASA's New Horizons probe had just completed its flyby of Pluto, which was the main portion of its mission. The New Horizons mission was part of NASA's New Frontiers program, a program which aims to discover the far reaches of our solar system. It was able to take the first close-up pictures of Pluto and its moon Charon, and we have made some major discoveries about the dwarf planet since because of this mission. However, after it passed Pluto, its mission wasn't over. Its trajectory remained pretty fast as it was sent out into the Kuiper Belt, which is an asteroid belt which lies beyond the orbit of Neptune, an unexplored frontier on the outer reaches of our solar system. As New Horizons careened out into the unknown, NASA searched for a new object to study. They were able to hone in on one object within this region of the New Horizons probe. This object was 486958, nicknamed Ultima Thule. This object was the first object to be discovered and visited after the spacecraft that visited it was launched. This object first appeared as a small dot in the distance of our scope. Scientists were very unsure what it looked like at first. However, after analyzing the video, they were able to see small bumps and ridges in its rotation. Scientists were also able to observe the object's occultation of a star in the background, allowing them to create a prediction for the shape of the object. These observations predicted the object to be elongated and lopsided, which turned out to be surprisingly accurate. In July of 2018, 3 years after its flyby of Pluto, New Horizons finally began the approach phase of the new object. As New Horizons approached the new object, its appearance and structure became more apparent, starting as a simple blip in the sky in July, transitioning into an asymmetrical, crooked object, confirming scientists' predictions in December. On January 1st, 2019, New Horizons made its closest flyby at only 3,500 kilometers away from the object. For reference, that is over 100 times closer than the Earth is to the Moon. This marked a major point in history for us. As humans, this was the farthest object we had ever explored in our solar system at a whopping 6.5 billion kilometers, or 45 astronomical units. This was when a majority of the data we have on the object was collected, although with data chugging in at a mere 1 kilobyte per second, it took years to gather all the data. So I present to you the highest resolution image that we have of this object, which was named Arrokoth, which means sky in Powhatan Native American language. As a nod to its original nickname, Ultima Thule, the larger portion of the object was named Ultima, and the smaller portion named Thule. As New Horizons approached, details became visible as this object was what is known as a contact binary, which is two bodies that had conjoined together. This shape was extremely unique, and we had never seen it before in any near asteroids or comets that had come towards the inside of our solar system. This reveals a lot about the nature of the Kuiper Belt. It means that objects were moving so slowly when they made contact with each other that they were able to connect. This means that they had to be moving less than 50 kilometers an hour. There were no impact craters, which is a staple of rocky bodies in the inner solar system. This shows that the Kuiper Belt is extremely vast, these lonely rocky bodies floating without contact with each other. Estimates predict that it may be more than 20 times as wide as our inner belt, and while the Kuiper Belt may have twice the mass of that belt, a lot of that mass comes from dwarf planets that reside in the dark wasteland. The object appears red, likely due to an abundance of tholins, which are atomic compounds that have been blasted by cosmic rays and broken down. These tholins are all that remains of these compounds and have likely been ejected from the object. This can also explain the object's flat shape. From being bombarded by cosmic rays, Arrokoth has slowly been whittled down to a pancake-esque shape due to its irregular rotation, with one flat side facing the sun at a time rather than orbiting like a disk. Some other information that was collected was its orbital period, which was an immense 297-year orbit, so far out that its temperature is thought to be around 47 Kelvin, or negative 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This allows scientists to conclude that the surface is mostly ice made from ammonia and water tholins. As you can see on the northern end of Thule, there's a large crater-like indent. This is likely to have been caused by an avalanche or a collapse of the inner land of Arrokoth, as the object is believed to be porous. This would explain the discoloration due to a buildup of ice in that area as gravity pushed material into the hole. It would also explain the discoloration at the contact point, as this is another spot where gravity would push material to. As New Horizons finished its flyby, it captured one final image of Arrokoth's silhouette on a backdrop of stars. New Horizons has no other object flybys planned and will continue on its journey out of the heliosphere.